S. Chand presents educational video lectures as per the AICTE curriculum. Difficult concepts made easy. Study anywhere, anytime.
Now laser light, we know that is a combination of spontaneous emission, stimulated emission, and first one is a stimulated absorption. Now how their coefficients can be calculated? So these coefficients for the stimulated emission, how these coefficients of stimulated absorption, stimulated emission and the spontaneous emission are correlating with each other. So that is calculated with the Einstein. So they are known as Einstein coefficients. So myself Narendra Kaur, let us begin this topic. If you want to study this topic in detail, kindly refer this book by S. Chand Publishing. All the topics are given in quite details in the given book. Now the e-book link has been given in the description box. Now Einstein's coefficients, in order to calculate these coefficients, so firstly there are some assumptions. So firstly it is considered that now if this is a ground state for an atom having the energy E1, so N1, that is the number of atoms which are present in the ground state. Now E2, that is the energy which is the excited state energy, which is corresponding to the atoms in the excited state, and N2, that will be the number of atoms which are present in the excited state. Now initially what will be there? So initially all the atoms, now if this is the ground state and this is the excited state, all the atoms that will be present in the ground state. Now if N1 is the number of atoms present in the ground state and E1, that is the energy corresponding to this state. So now N1 is the number of atoms in the ground state, or you can say that the number of atoms per unit volume with the energy E1. Now this is the first assumption. Now in the second, if N2, or you can say that N2 in the starting, N2 that will be very small because all the atoms will be present in the ground state. So N2, when there is no transition takes place, this N2 is very much less than N1 because the number of N1, that is the number of atoms present in the ground state per unit volume, that will be very large. And the energy of the photons, which is the difference between this excited state energy and the ground state energy, this h nu, that will be equals to E2 minus E1. Now energy density of these atoms interacting photon, that will be given by NH nu, because NH nu, what is for the one atom to travel from ground state to excited state, H nu energy, that is get absorbed. Now second, for the second atom to move from this ground state to the excited state, again H nu is required. Now for movement of N atoms from ground state to the excited state, NH nu, this amount of energy that will be needed. So this is the energy density for the photons which are interacting over here. So what is this? Nu, rho nu. Here this is the rho nu, that is the energy density. Automatically this depends upon the frequency. So that's why this is the function of nu over here, which is equals to NH nu, which is required for the movement of N photons or N atoms from ground state to the excited state. Now when these photons interact with the atoms, both in the upward absorption and the downward transitions will take place. We know that now in the ground there are the large number of atoms which are present in the ground state and also in the excited state. Now when the radiation is falling on this system, so this is the type of radiations when fall on this system, some of the atoms will move from this ground state to the excited state. Means these atoms can move by absorbing the radiations, they can move from ground state to excited state. In the similar way, the atoms which are present in the excited state, or you can say that the metastable state, which is just like below to this state, these type of atoms, they can jump back from excited state to the ground state. So that means these two type of process, like stimulated absorption and stimulated emission, they will take place simultaneously. So by absorbing the atoms or by absorbing the radiations, atoms can jump from ground state to excited state, or they can jump back from excited state to the ground state. Now at equilibrium, equilibrium means what will happen? So the transition rate for moving the atoms from excited state to ground state and from moving the atom from ground state to excited state, that must be equal to each other. So this implies, so in this case at the equilibrium, so equilibrium condition means here in this case the stimulated absorption, this rate, stimulated absorption means the atoms can move from ground state to excited state. This rate must be equal to stimulated emission rate. So stimulated emission means the atoms can move from excited state to ground state. So this rate, that must be equal to each other. Now we have to calculate the rate of absorption as well as rate of emission. Now the rate of absorption, how that can be written as, we know that the absorption is a stimulated over here. So now for the atoms to jump from this ground state to excited state, its rate, how many atoms can move from ground state to excited state? Firstly, it will depend upon the rho nu. So that means this absorption rate over here, so the stimulated absorption rate, it will depend upon, first is the N1. What is N1 here? N1 is the number of atoms which are present in the ground state. That means more the number of atoms present on the ground state, more will be the atom absorb the radiation and they can move from ground state to the excited state. Now second, this will depend upon the rate at rho nu. So what is rho nu? That is the energy density for the photons to move from ground state to excited state. So this rate will depend upon these two factors. That means this absorption rate is proportional to N1 as well as it is proportional to rho nu. Now again, in order to remove this proportionality symbol, constant must be there. So this constant is written over here, that is a B12. What is B12? It is known as a Einstein's coefficient of stimulated absorption. So that means this stimulated absorption rate, so it is, why it is proportional to rho nu also? Because rho nu, what is rho nu? It is the energy density for the photons to move from this ground state to the excited state. Means more the radiations fall on the atoms, more the radiations will be absorbed by the atom and more the number of atoms will move from ground state to the excited state. So that means, so when the large number of atoms are present over here, more the number of atoms present over here, more will be the, now the radiation is continuously falling on these atoms as well as these are the N1 number of atoms. That means the atoms will absorb the radiations and they will move from ground state to the excited state. So that means now this rate for the moving for atoms to move from this ground state to the excited state, so that will depends upon the two factor. So one is the number of atoms which is in the ground state and second one is the rho nu. Rho nu, that is equals to NH nu, which represent the energy for the N atoms. Now proportionality symbol here, that is known as, this is known as Einstein's coefficient for stimulated absorption. Now second one, downward transitions. Now there occur, the first is the movement of atoms from lower state to the excited state. Now the atoms will reach over here. So here in this case the atoms reach in the excited state. Now there occur two type of transitions. One is a spontaneous emission and second one is a stimulated emission. Now in case of spontaneous emission, so for the two type of transitions, so first is the spontaneous transition. So that means in the spontaneous transitions, so the number of atoms will jump back from excited state to the ground state by its own. That means no energy is supplied to the atoms. So it will depend only on the number of atoms which are present in the excited state, which is N2. So in this case, the rate, the spontaneous emission rate, that is proportional only to N2, because there is no need for the atom, how much energy of the photon is there, because no radiation is get absorbed by these atoms. So these atoms will move from excited state to the ground state by their own, or even though they will release some amount of energy which is equal to difference between the energy of excited state to the ground state. So that means the atoms which are present here, this is the excited state for the atoms. Now this is, we know that this is a lesser stable state. So this stable is this state is not more stable. So this is the lesser stable, and we know that this ground state, that is a more stable state for the atoms. So atoms are more stable in the ground state. Now in the spontaneous emission, so the more the number of atoms which are present in the excited state, and there is no metastable state, if there is no metastable state present over here, so in this case the rate of atoms, the emission rate for the atoms to move from excited state to ground state, so that will depend only on the N2. Now that means if N2 is the number of atoms which are present in the excited state and with energy E2, so without any external supply, without any external force, these atoms will move from excited state to the ground state. So that means no energy is needed. While this is the spontaneous emission, this amount of energy is released, and we know that these radiations are called over here, so these are incoherent radiations over here, and there is no need of these radiations with lesser intensity, because the intensity of these radiations is very small because they are non-monochromatic. So monochromaticity of these radiation is very small, they are non-monochromatic radiations, and they are lesser directional over here. So when the transitions takes place for excited state to the ground state without any external force, these are called spontaneous emission. And the rate of spontaneous emission over here, this rate of spontaneous emission, that is rate of spontaneous so this will depend only on N2 over here. So what is N2? That is the number of atoms which are present in the excited state. Now again this proportionality symbol, that will be equals to some constant which is equals to A21 into N2. What is 21 over here? Here 21, it represents a, so that is A21 into N2, means transitions are taken place from the state 2 to the state 1, and there occurs spontaneous emission, so that's why constant is written A. Now the transitions are taken place from the state 2 to state 1, so that's why this rate is known as A21 into N2. So this is known as a spontaneous rate, and A21, that is known as Einstein's coefficient of spontaneous emission. So this is called Einstein's coefficient of spontaneous emission. Now let us take a short break. Till now we have understood what is the Einstein coefficient for spontaneous emission and stimulated absorption. After the break we will understand what is Einstein coefficient for stimulated emission, and we will compare these absorption rate and the emission rate.
Now quality learning is easily available at your doorstep. S. Chand Academy brings detailed lectures based on AICTE curriculum as per the New Education Policy 2020. So do not forget to subscribe to the S. Chand Academy and access the wide world of knowledge conveniently sitting at your home. Stay connected and keep watching S. Chand Academy. Happy learning!
Welcome back to S. Chand Academy. Now before break we understood what is the Einstein coefficient for stimulated absorption and the spontaneous emission. Now we will calculate Einstein coefficient for the stimulated emission. Okay, now the stimulated emission means the atoms are present in the excited state. Now if there are the atom in the ground state, they absorb the radiation and go to the excited state. Again the atoms will jump from this excited state to the metastable state by the non-radiative transitions, because atoms are present over here. Now for the atoms to come back from this metastable state to the ground state, some amount of energy is given to them. This is equal to difference between this energy over here. That means energy is supplied to the atom and they will jump back by releasing the photons with energy h nu. So in this case stimulated emission, so this rate is proportional to N2. What is N2? That is the number of atoms which are present in the excited state, or you can say that the number of atoms which are present in the metastable state. And then also it is proportional to rho nu. What is rho nu? That is the energy density for the photons to emit the radiations, because here it is also depend upon this rho nu, because atoms firstly absorb the radiations and then they back jump from metastable state to the ground state. So that's why here the stimulated emission rate depends upon these factors. So this is equals to N2 into rho nu into B21. What is B21 over here? B21 is the instant coefficient for the stimulated emission over here. So now we know that, so here the overall complete rate for emission rate. So complete emission rate, that can be written like this. So complete emission rate, now which is equals to combination of both spontaneous emission plus stimulated emission. So that means complete rate, that will be equals to combination of stimulated emission and spontaneous emission. Now the rate for stimulated emission, firstly there is a spontaneous emission, that is equals to N2 into A21. That means the transitions are taken place from the higher state to the lower state, plus this is equals to N2 into rho V into B21. Why there is a coefficient B over here? Because in this case radiations are supplied, so that is a stimulated over here. So that's why now the atoms are stimulated and atoms jump from the state 2 to state 1. So that's why the coefficient B21 is written over here. Now during the stimulated emission, the interacting photons are called the stimulating photon, because the atom gets stimulating by absorbing the photons from higher energy state to the lower energy state. So that's why here the photons, interacting photons are called stimulating photons, and the photons due to stimulated emissions are in phase with each other. So now what is the meaning of this? The atoms are in phase with each other means here they are in the same phase. The radiations which are emitted, they are coherent in nature. Coherent means the phase, the wavelength, monochromicity is very high. So the laser light is get produced in the stimulated emission. So they are in phase with each other. Next is that during stimulated absorption, the photon density decreases, whereas during stimulated emission it increases, because we know that in the stimulated absorption the photons are get absorbed. So that's why photon density is goes on decreasing, because photons are get consumed by the atoms. Atoms will consume that photons, then they will move from ground state to the excited states. So that's why here the photon density decreases over here. That means in this case here the atoms jump from ground after absorbing the photons. So photons are get absorbed by the atoms, then they move from ground state to the excited state over here. So that's why photon density is consumed in this case. So their photon density, that means rho nu, if this is a photon density, so that will decreases in case of stimulated absorption. While in case of stimulated emission, so here the atoms are present over here. Firstly the photons are get absorbed by the atoms, then they come back to ground state and release the photons in this case. So here the photon density will increase. Now that means in here the photon density will decrease. Here by the multiple transition the number of photons get absorbed. So that's why photon density will increases in case of stimulated emission, while in case of stimulated absorption the photon density will decrease. Now for the system in equilibrium, when the system is in equilibrium, that means the number of atoms which are moving or the transitions which are taken place in the upward direction, that will be equals to transitions which are in the downward direction. That means both the transitions will be equals to each other. Upward transitions means the stimulated absorption rate, that must be equal to downward transition. Downward transition means emission rate. So the absorption rate, that must be equals to the emission rate. Now equating these two we will get. So here for the system in equilibrium, the upward and the downward transition rates, that must be equal to each other. So this is the absorption rate this must be equals to the emission rate. That means absorption rate means here the transitions are taken place from the ground state to the excited state. Now in this case the transitions are taken place from excited to the ground state. So this is the stimulated absorption. This is the emission rate, which is combination of spontaneous emission as well as stimulated emission. Now by comparing these two, we will get rho nu, that is equals to N2 A21. This is one. Now again rearranging the atoms, we will get, so this is the population of, or you can say that what is rho nu, that is the energy density of the photons. So that is known as the population of various energy levels. Now we know that the population of various energy level, that is given by the Boltzmann distribution law. So according to Boltzmann distribution law, that means the number of atoms in the lower energy state. So this is like this. So that means, now this variation is exponential over here. So that means the number of atoms in the ground state, they are very large. As we are moving from lower energy state to the higher energy state. So this, the number of atoms, as well energy goes on increasing over here. As soon as we know that from this expression you can clearly see that as the E1 goes on increasing, this N that will be goes on decreasing over here. Means that with the energy, the number of atoms that will goes on decreasing. So this implies as the energy for the state that is goes on increasing, the atoms will goes on decreasing. So large number of atoms are present in the ground state rather than for the excited state. So large number of atoms will be present. Now according to Boltzmann distribution law, we know that N1 that is given by here Ni, that is given by here Gi, and not exponential of this factor over here, because this belongs to the ith state over here. N1 that is the population density or the number of energy or number of atoms which are present in the ith level. Ei that is the energy which is corresponding to the atoms for the ith state. N0 is the population density in the ground state at the temperature T1, and Gi that is a degeneracy of the ith level. And we know that K is a Boltzmann constant over here, which is given by this relation, which is equals to 1.38 into 10 to the minus 23 joule per Kelvin. Then by applying here the concept of degeneracy over here, that means according to degeneracy, it is implies in the one state only one atom is present over here. So we know that if there is an s orbital, its degeneracy is 2. That means the 2 electrons can fit in this state. One is with a spin up, second is with a spin 2. So here for the s state degeneracy for the orbital is 2, but here it is considered the degeneracy is 1 over here. That means in the one state only one atom can occupy the one state. For example, over the one seat only the one person can sit. In the similar way for an atom, for one state that will be occupied. So degeneracy that is 1 over here. Now on comparing these two equations, so we will get, so comparing these two equations, so now for the two state N1 upon N2, that can be written as this one. So this is the number of atoms which are present in the state N1 to N2. On comparing these two situations, so we will get rho nu, that is given by this relation over here. So this is the relation for the energy density, which is equals to this one. That means, so on comparing these two, we will get, this is the equation for the rho density. What is rho over here? That is the number of photon density, photons which are required for the movement of atoms from the ground state to the excited state or from the excited state to the ground state. Again, apply the Planck's theory of radiations, because in the starting we understood over here the atoms which are transferred from ground state to the excited state by absorbing the photons, and photons are what over here? They are quanta of radiations. So these quanta of radiation can be compared by the Planck's Black theory of radiation. So according to which this nu is written like this. So on comparing these two, we will get this coefficient is equals to 1. That means the degeneracy, if this degeneracy is equals to each other. Now if this degeneracy G1, if this is equals to G2, then B12 that must be equals to B21. So this implies the number of atoms. What is B1? B12, that is the number of atoms which are moving from ground state to the excited state, that is related to the stimulated absorption. What is B21? That is the number of atoms which are moving from excited state to the excited state means metastable state to the ground state. That means their coefficient must be equal to each other. So that means the number of atoms which are moving from lower level to higher level, that must be equal to the number of atoms which are moving from higher level to the lower level. Now in the second case, this coefficient, what is A21 over here? That is A21 upon B21. What is A21? That is a number of atoms which are moving from excited state to the ground state by its own without any external force. That is a spontaneous emission. So this is a coefficient related to the stimulated emission, means they are related to each other and they are proportional to nu cube. What is nu cube here? That is the radiations which are released by the atoms when they move from excited state to the ground state. And what is nu? There is a frequency of radiation. So they will move by cube of this radiations, because rest of the factors they are constant. Here 8 pi and h and c, that is the velocity of light, all these factors are constant over here. What is h here? That is a Planck's constant. So that means this constant is proportional to nu cube. So all these are the Einstein's coefficient. So in the laser we know that three type of process take place. One is a stimulated absorption, second one is a spontaneous emission, and third one is a stimulated emission, and how their coefficients are related to each other. That means stimulated absorption and stimulated emission, their coefficient are equal to each other, while stimulated emission and spontaneous emission, their coefficient are not equal to each other because their rate is different. So in case of laser, as the incoherent radiations are released in the spontaneous emission and coherent radiations are released in the stimulated emission, so that's why their coefficients are different to each other. So till now we understood how the laser coefficients, which include the three processes, first is the stimulated emission, stimulated absorption and the spontaneous emission, and how they are correlated to each other via Einstein's coefficient. Thank you. If you want to study this topic in detail, kindly refer this book by S. Chand Publishing. All the topics are given in quite details in the given book. Now the e-book link has been given in the description box. Now if you like the video, kindly like, share and subscribe this video, and also you can press the bell icon for the future notifications.
All rights reserved. This video has been prepared for educational purposes only. No part of it may be reproduced or copied without the permission of the copyright holder.